screen. They mined our panic. I shook my head. They mined our bodies. A comment thread attached to the emergency model froze all of us in place. One executive asked whether South Bank's recovery assumptions could be adjusted upward because neighborhood self-organization often produced unexpected stabilization. A reply came from someone higher up. Do not normalize volunteer behavior into planning baseline. Mutual aid creates false positives and weakens premium service segmentation. Alma made a sound I had only ever heard from her once before in the ICU when a family had been told the wrong time. False positives, she said. Imagine calling kindness a statistical error. Junie looked from the screen to me. If we post this, the platform will bury it. Not if we don't post it alone, I said. She understood immediately. Creators, neighborhood newsletters, pirate streamers, church text trees, school listservs, group chats, the old radio hobbyists who kept mesh nodes on rooftops for fun and paranoia, fragmented attention weakness. It scattered authority, too. Mara had printed one final note and taped it to the monitor with yellowing cellophane. The system's greatest weakness is that it confuses visibility with legitimacy. Make them watch. Lightning flashed blue chapter 6. Blackout choir by the time we got back to the switchyard. The power was gone across half the district. The storm had knocked the city into one of those old-fashioned silences that only happen when enough machines stop at once. No compressor hum, no traffic lights, no ad screens, just rain, wind, sirens, voices, and from somewhere down the block, a baby crying with unwavering commitment. People were waiting under our awning with backpacks, grocery bags, one bird cage, and the specific look human beings get when they have realized help may not be coming in a format they recognize. So we opened. The back room became medicine storage. The fiction shelves became a seating line for elders. Junie rigged 2 battery packs to a projector and aimed it at the wall above the essays section. Malik biked to the public clinic and back 3 times with coolers of insulin and paper intake forms. My mother commandeered the listening table and turned it into a triage station with a blood pressure cuff she seemed to have materialized from thin air. I tore butcher paper into 3 strips and taped them to the wall. Need have checked today at first, the notes went up in neat handwriting. Need charger for oxygen concentrator. Have dry blankets, apartment 3B. Check on Mr. Alvarez, can't hear well, tower 2. Have 2 fans if someone has extension cord. Then the room filled and neatness lost its little war against urgency. Children carried messages between shelves like runners in some very literate emergency. A barber from down the block fixed a hand crank radio with a fork. The bakery sent over bread before their freezer failed. Someone found candles. Someone else found matches. A teenager with silver eye makeup admitted he had never written a letter before, and then sat at the stationery table, composing 3 in a row, one to his grandmother upstairs because she was too angry to speak to him directly. Junie crouched by the projector, routing Bell archive files through a ragged little network of rooftop nodes. No major platform logo, no soft moderation, just a bare feed with evidence maps, clips, and instructions on how to mirror it farther. This is going everywhere strange, she said. Good, I said. Your mother is trending on 6 neighborhood servers. Alma did not look up. Tell the servers to wash their hands. Near midnight, when the rain eased for almost 10 minutes, somebody asked if we could play music. I hesitated. Power was rationed. Batteries mattered. Then Malik, dripping on the mat with a crate of bottled water slung over one shoulder, said, play one. So I put on a record with the hand-powered backup turntable. An old soul album, warm brass, slow drums, a voice rough enough to trust. The room changed. Not healed, not saved. Changed. People started breathing in time with something other than their own fear. Alma sat beside me for the length of the second song. You know what a healthy heart does, she asked. Mostly inconveniences cardiologists. She smiled. A healthy heart answers. It speeds up, slows down, adjusts. It doesn't optimize. It responds. Across the room, Junie was showing two kids how to tape pages over the windows in case the glass blew. Malik bent over the knead wall with a marker between his teeth. Tying delivery routes together by hand. An old man I only knew as Mr. Klein was teaching three strangers how to siphon rainwater into clean buckets. Nothing in Civic Pulse would have called this premium service. The trouble with those systems, Alma said, is that they only trust a heartbeat when it belongs to a market. From outside came a dull metallic banging, pipe on rail, rail on post, post on fence. People signaling across flooded blocks. For a second, it sounded exactly like Nico drumming on the kitchen table with his knuckles when he was trying not to say he was scared. I stood up before I Chapter 7 Managed Retreat Pump 7 sat at the edge of the flood basin like a bunker built by someone who hated both water and beauty. The access road was already half submerged. Rain skidded sideways under the security lights. Above us, the sky had that by the time we got there, 30 people from South Bank had arrived with flashlights, bikes, carts, a church van, 2 dogs in reflective harnesses, and 3 homemade signs made from torn cardboard. Junie's feed, mirrored now on neighborhood nodes all over the city, had done its work. People had seen the documents. They had seen the district labels. They had seen the line about deferred recovery. Being acceptable. It is a beautiful and terrible thing, how fast a crowd can become precise when it realizes the paperwork has already decided its suffering. A city utility truck blocked the lower gate. 2 security contractors stood under the awning, trying to look like weather. Proof authority. Then a sedan pulled up behind them and Leora Stern stepped out into the rain. Her white suit had surrendered to gray. For the first time in all the years I had known her, she looked like someone who had lost the argument before entering the room. Ria, she said, tell them to open it. I can't. can't or won't. The override requires authorization from Continuity Command. She looked past us toward the basin, where dark water was climbing the markers one painted stripe at a time. At Atlas Yards, she said, of course. The server district. The place the model had decided was more alive than us. Because more valuable things were plugged in there. Junie held the camera steady on Leora's face. Say it again, she said. Leora saw the lens and almost flinched. This is not helping. No, I said. This is evidence. One of the contractors lifted a bullhorn and told us to disperse under emergency safety protocol. Nobody moved. I stepped closer to Leora until the rain ran off my hood onto her sleeves. You knew, I said. Her jaw tightened. I knew the waiting model. 'I did not. You stayed.' 'Yes,' she snapped, sudden and human. 'I stayed because systems don't disappear when good people leave them. They rot faster. And how is that going? For one second, something like grief crossed her face. Behind me, Malik was studying the maintenance panel by the gate. Old hardware, physical ports. A man file. A string of admin credentials unfolded access. The sort of thing nobody deletes because everyone assumes nobody remembers it exists. Mara had built us a door. I handed the tablet to Malik. Try maintenance root. He moved to the panel. The first code failed. The second spun. The lock on the side gate clicked open with a noise so small it felt almost insulting. The contractors lurched forward. The crowd surged before they could recover, not violent, just undeniable. Bodies with reasons. Bodies with memory. Leora caught my arm. If you redirect the flow, she said, Harborside floods. Harborside has private barriers, backup